I guess I've been here so long that following, elections is all about doing things pretty methodically, very organized. So of course, I put together something that starts from the beginning and goes through the process. We do voter registration, and I know there's always a lot of questions about voter registration. It's an ongoing process that really takes quite a bit of our time. You can now register in person, through the mail, online with any DMV transaction, which those are also known as motor voters, and through agencies. And the legislatures are trying to even include more agencies. Now you have like DHS and different ones around the area, but they're wanting to get even more like IRS and Department of Revenue to start giving us more updates and information on individuals so we can make sure that everybody has the opportunity to vote. So we process these daily. Of course, we have the paper forms, but most of our stuff comes electronically anymore. So if you go online and do a voter registration, that's going to capture your signature from your driver's license. So if you ever wonder how we get that signature, it does grab that. If you don't have either a driver's license, ID card, then of course you're going to have to print off the form because it's required to have a signature in order to register to vote. Currently, we have about 48,000 voters. When I started full-time in 2002, we only had 35,000 roughly. So motor voter has really increased our registered voters. Keeping active registered voters is very easy now. We update things through every DMV change of address you put in. We update through those. We get those daily. We get what's known as national change of address. Anytime you put anything in through the post office, that comes to us. So, we're constantly getting things back. Anything we mail you, if it comes back to us with an updated address, again, we update that address. There's a lot of behind the scenes that you don't actually touch your voter registration. We automatically do that for you to try to keep you as current as possible. Okay. As far as registrations, a lot of times get questions about, deceased voters. I'd like to ensure everybody that we also process a lot of canceled registrations. We get a death list from the Coos Health Department. The state of Oregon gives us a list. Anytime you move, and let's say move to Arizona and register there, that information is sent to us and we can cancel your registration per that information or inactivate it and send you information asking you, have you permanently moved to that other state? So our registration records are usually quite accurate. Oregon has what is known as Oregon Centralized Voter Registration, where all 36 counties are connected together. So it's impossible to have a Debbie Heller in in two counties or multiple counties. When you move your location, your record from, let's say, Coos County, you moved it to Chutes, your registration is pulled to that county. It always keeps all together, all in one. So all your voting history and past information is right there and anybody can see it. Any county can pull up and check any registration. Every registration we process through that Oregon Centralized Voter Registration System that the state owns. It goes through what we know as a duplicate check. So it's always looking for duplicate voters within the state of Oregon. So it's very rare to find one. And the list is usually, especially let's say if I moved and I changed my name to Debbie Steele because I got married, because of your date of birth, your driver's license that's on your registrations, that would, even though the names don't match, it would pull it up and you could select that as a duplicate, and then your previous information would go into history. So each voter record is pretty comprehensive, and it's a great system. Oregon is very lucky to have the system we have. No way could Coos County afford to have the type of system that we have on our own. So I've been very happy with it. In 2023, they're supposed to we just call it a new OCDR, but it's going to be a lot more up to date, a lot more options. It's going to be good for the public. So, you know, technology is pretty wonderful. There's a lot out there, so they're going to try to encompass as much as they can into the system. So it'll be advantages to the voter to be able to see a lot more of their information and the information that they want to see. So yeah, look forward to that. They've already put out the bids to start the process of that. So it'll take some time, but again, yeah, I'm sure it's just going to be wonderful. So we're very lucky there. Does anyone have any questions on voter reg? Okay, not seeing any. I'll move to election.
Debbie, hold on a second. So
Okay.
the things that we do, I mean, obviously, one of our biggest focuses has always been on voter registration as well as educating the voter. And since Motor Voter came into play, we've been focusing on telling people, if you've moved, you need to re-register. Is this helpful to you to have those sent in, or are we just duplicating your work since you're now getting it from all these different sources when people move?
Okay, so personally, from my experience in the office, I prefer to have the updates by the individuals because they're going to sign that card. And I don't know if any of you guys have had your signature challenged on a ballot. Sometimes I can have maybe 8 or more updates from DMV because people move a lot more than I would have ever guessed. And your driver's license keeps that same signature in most cases for 8 years. So it does pull the signature with every update, but the signature stays the same. And as we all know, our signatures change. So whenever we get a paper form, voter registration card, we capture that new signature. And it just makes it easier for us because we've got a new valid current signature to check the ballots against. But again, we have a process that laid out. If we don't have a signature match, which we'll go into later, we can always contact the voter. But I don't think us getting those paper forms, we don't mind it at all because there's advantages to having that paper form. People are also paying a little more attention to what they're doing and maybe selecting their party when they're actually got that paper form. So I like to have that paper form, but electronic is more convenient to the voters, and we'll take it any way we can get it.
All right. If I sign a new signature at DMV when I renew my driver's license, will that new signature go to you? And I'm not changing my address or my party. I just want to know if you will then get that new address. So I need to pay attention to how I sign that, so I know that you have that new signature, because there's 2 ways I sign my name.
Yes, we do get, anytime you give them a new signature, they're going to send us that new information. If nothing changes but your signature, then yes, we will capture that signature. And every signature that is captured in our system stays there. It doesn't mean we now have a new one so the other one goes away. We may have 1 signature for a voter, we may have 10. And the more we have, the more we like it.